Honourable members, please be seated. We'll continue with our questions. I now call on the Honourable Naisa Tuinadeva to ask question 358 of 225.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Question 358, 2025, under my name and is directed to the Minister for Finance, Commerce and Business Development. Can the Minister update Parliament on the activities in relation to the UNCDF initiative on parametric insurance?
Thank you. I call on the Minister of Finance, Commerce and Business Development, the Honourable Esrom Emmanuel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and thank you, Honourable Member, for the question. Speaker, sir, the contribution of United Nations Capital Development Fund, or UNCDF, to the development of Fiji's financial system over the past decade and the positive impact it continues to have on Fijian lives and livelihoods cannot be overstated. In the area of parametric insurance, UNCDF has introduced a unique and innovative solution that has positioned Fiji as a leader in promoting financial inclusion, not only in the Pacific, but globally. At the 2024 Alliance for Financial Inclusion Global Policy Forum, the Reserve Bank of Fiji was honored with the Nestor Espela Junior Award, recognizing Fiji's leadership in fostering financial inclusion and innovation. This recognition is attributed in part to the successful implementation of parametric insurance and the tangible benefits it has delivered to ordinary Fijians. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to highlight as well the important role of Reserve Bank of Fiji in this initiative. As the insurance market regulator, the RBF identified early during the design and development stages of parametric insurance product led by UNCDF, the immense potential these solutions offered not only to increase insurance penetration, but also to protect communities, the household, and sectors of our economy that are fully underserved and highly vulnerable to extreme weather events. Mr. Speaker, sir, in partnership with the UNCDF, through its specific insurance and climate adaptation program, RBF has actively worked to introduce and scale parametric insurance solutions in Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, in 2021, when the Fiji's Pacific first climate risk parametric microinsurance product was being developed under PICAP, the RBF took the step of admitting these solutions into its FinTech regulatory sandbox for live testing. Mr. Speaker, sir, 2024, the RBF took another groundbreaking step by becoming the first central bank in the Pacific, possibly globally, to assume ownership of a national implementation of parametric microinsurance. A dedicated climate finance and insurance unit was established at RBF to oversee and drive the expansion of these solutions. In August 24, RBF signed a grant agreement with the Insure Resilience Solutions Fund, partnering with Tau Insurance and Sun Insurance, with technical assistance from UNCDF to expand parametric microinsurance across Fiji. Key achievements for the first year of implementations include 4,249 policyholders, up from 1,196. 10,258 Fijians reached through outreach and awareness. 39 workshops were conducted to deepen the understanding, and 1,101 policyholders eligible for payouts, including 60 persons with disabilities and 182 social welfare recipients, with 95% paid via mobile wallets. These payouts are in addition to nearly 2,000 Fijians who received more than Fiji $200,000 in prior periods following heavy rainfall events, particularly in the Western Division. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've been informed that for year 2 of the project, the RBF and partners are targeting to increase the coverage of vulnerable Fijians to 10,000 policyholders. As I build up to this, Sun Insurance has recently launched its revised suite of products with a specific product covering social welfare recipients and persons with disabilities. Tawa Insurance also launched a new standalone rainfall product, timely and relevant as we enter the wet and cyclone season. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the key success factors for parametric insurance implementation and scaling as part of the lessons learned from other countries is premium subsidy. For the first year of implementation, a total of 355,000 was allocated from all sources, including the Reserve Bank of Fiji, to enable coverage for 2,000 social welfare recipients and 700 persons with disabilities. For the second year, RBF has increased its allocation to 275,000, alongside subsidies from ISF and UNCDF, aiming to cover 4,000 social welfare recipients and 2,000 persons with disabilities. Another critical success factor is partnership and collaboration. UNCDF's design of the parametric insurance ecosystem ensures an enabling environment. Aggregators such as the Sugarcane Growers Council, Fiji Crop and Livestock Council, Cane Farmers Cooperative Savings and Loans Association, and the Pacific Disability Forum have played vital roles in outreach and onboarding. Mr. Speaker, sir, the RBF in its recent media releases highlights continued technical and funding support provided by the UNCDF, VICAC, and the vital role played by aggregators I mentioned before. It is also encouraging to see the important contributors by a few ministries in collaborating with RBF and the private sector to not only scale parametric insurance, but to facilitate the education and awareness of insurance and its benefit apart from products to the targeted areas and groups. This includes the Ministry of Tauke Affairs, Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management, Ministry of Women, Children and Social Protection, and our Ministry of Trade, Cooperative, MSMEs. Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji is proud to be the first country in the Pacific to implement parametric insurance at scale. These efforts, led by the RBF, supported by UNCDF, and strengthened by partnership across government and the private sector, are critical for climate resilience. They ensure vulnerable communities receive fast, predictable financial assistance after disasters, and reducing reliance on ad hoc relief and strengthening long-term economic stability. This collaboration reflects Fiji's commitment to innovative financial solutions that protect our people and economy from the increasing impacts of climate change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank the Minister, Honorable Emmanuel. Any supplementary? Honorable Tinadeva?
My supplementary question to the Minister. Minister, you've talked about a bit on the premiums and the subsidy on this. Just for clarification, who pays for the premiums and what is the level of cover and the average premium? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Minister?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The premiums are supposed to be paid by individuals and is currently subsidized by Insure Resilience Solution Fund and the Reserve Bank of Fiji. So the premium subsidy is offered to insurers who are part of this project, and especially to Sun Insurance and Tawa Insurance. Under the ISF project, total premium subsidy available to each of the insurance for the duration of the projects is around 180,000, and RBF made available an additional 175,000 for year one and 275,000 for year two. So the premiums are quite reasonable. For example, for farmers, some insured for $1,000, the premium is $100. Some insured for $2,000, the premium is $200. For welfare product, some insured of $500, premium is $50. That is per annum. So the premiums are quite reasonable. And apart from the subsidy that are provided. If you calculate that, Mr. Speaker, $100 or $200, it comes to around $6 in a week, or $16 for high-end cover, which probably correlates to two bags of cover or one packet of cigarette. So it's quite reasonable, Mr. Speaker, sir. And there's still a challenge of awareness to take this product down to all our people.
I now call on the Honorable Virendra Lal to ask question 298 of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask question 298 of 2025 under my name, and the question is directed to the Minister for Multi-Ethnic Affairs and Sugar Industry. Can the Minister update Parliament on the status of the call for tender for the construction of a sugar mill in Rakiraki? Thank you, sir.
You now call on the Minister for Multi-Ethnic Affairs and Sugar Industry, the Honorable Charan Singh.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Firstly, I'd like to thank you and the good office for allowing to shift all my questions from last week into this week. As you know, I had a death in the family, and for that reason, I had to miss the Parliament sessions last week. Having said that, Honourable Speaker, I thank the Honourable Member, Viren, for asking this question, because I know that there's a very much of eagerness to know when and how the Rakiraki mill will ever get off the ground. At the outset, Honourable Speaker, I wish to clarify that the Fiji Sugar Corporation did not issue a call of tender for the construction of sugar mill in Rakiraki. Instead, FSC issued an expression of interest, EOI, and there's an important distinction between the two. A call for tender is a formal procurement process, whereas an EOI is a preliminary step used to gauge market interest, assess capabilities, and identify credible firms before proceeding to any tender stage. The purpose of an EOI is simply to understand who is in the global and local market has the expertise and capacity to support such a major development. Mr. Speaker, FSC issued an expression of interest on 30th of August 2025, inviting potential partners to design, finance, and construct a proposed 10,000 tons a day integrated sugar mill in Rakiraki. The EOI closed on 30th of September 2025. To ensure maximum international reach, this IOI was extensively advertised at the International Society of Sugarcane Technologists Congress in Colombia, and an event attended by more than 1,500 delegates from 70 countries, including the leading global sugar technology companies and engineering firms. A total of 13 companies submitted their expression of interest to FSC's online procurement portal. Mr. Speaker, these submissions were rigorously evaluated against the criteria set out on the EOI document. This included firms with technical competence, financial strength, experience in large-scale sugar and agro-industrial projects, and overall alignment to the requirements of the proposed 10,000 tons of cane per day integrated mill. Following this comprehensive assessment, FSC has identified a number of companies that are best suited to progress to the next stage. While I will not name them at this point, given that the process is still active, I can confirm that several firms have been invited to provide a more detailed presentation to FSC and the key stakeholders within the sugar industry. Mr. Speaker, say before last week, on Friday, 21st November, one of the shortlisted firms, China Machinery Engineering Corporation, a major Chinese state-owned enterprise, made its formal presentation to the proposed new mill. The CMEC entered this process with a recommendation from the People's Republic of China and is now among the companies undergoing the deeper technical, financial, and operational evaluation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am pleased to inform this August House that this morning a high-level CMEC delegation accompanied by the technical experts has returned to Fiji to undertake a more detailed on-ground assessment as part of the next phase of the study. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to emphasize that the proposed facility is not intended to be a traditional sugar mill alone. The government's vision is to diversify, modernize, value-add industrial complex, and this includes refined sugar production for the domestic and regional and export market, ethanol production, supporting the fuel blending and the sustainable aviation fuel, cogeneration of electricity using bagasse, contributing to the Fiji's renewable energy targets, additional value-added byproducts that will enhance commercial viability and reduce waste. These diversified products, Mr. Speaker, say, and this approach ensures that Fiji does not rely solely on a raw sugar revenue, but instead build a resilient, profitable, and future-focused sugar industry. Mr. Speaker, say, in terms of the delivery mechanisms, the government is open to innovative partnership models. We are exploring build, operate, and transfer model, arrangements, a turnkey model, and other forms of public-private partnership that can bring a global expertise while safeguarding the national interest. This model will ensure that the construction, operation, and knowledge transfer and a long-term sustainability are embedded into this project from the outset. Mr. Speaker, say, for the proposed new mill, we are also exploring a comprehensive field-to-product solution, including models where companies invest not only in the mill itself, but also in the modern cane growing techniques, mechanized harvesting, and a fully integrated logistic to ensure that a more efficient and sustainable supply chain. Mr. Speaker, say in conclusion, the expression of interest stage for the proposed new sugar mill in Reki Reki has attracted strong international interest. With the preliminary evaluation completed, FSC is now progressing towards the next phase of procurement, ensuring that the due diligence, transparency, and the value for Fiji sugar industry remains at the forefront of the process. Thank you, sir.
I thank the Minister, the Honourable Charan Singh. Supplementary question, Honourable Viranlala.
Mr. Speaker, sir, since January 1993, we have been hearing in this House a mill will be built in Reki Reki soon. Now the Minister has just clarified we have not reached the tender stage. We have just called for expression of interest. My question is, by when the cane farmers of Reki Reki will have a sugar mill in Reki Reki? Is there any time frame? Thank you, sir.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, say, this honourable gentleman should understand that your government had destroyed and closed Reki Reki mill. Reki Reki mill. Look, let me start it. Now, when we're going to start, it's not a money, Honourable Smate, a $10 million money.
Order.
We need $200 million to set up a mill. All right? I'm not pointing at you, man. Now, what I'm saying, Honourable Speaker, say, this sugar industry with the entirety will only happen when we will win the next election. And of course, we're going to win it. We're going to win them. There's no doubt about it. But what I'm saying is, no, what I'm saying is this is not a small matchbox project. Yes, we are doing it. We are doing it. It's not going to happen just overnight. But we are on the track. We are on the track. Vinaka.
Thank you. Honorable Sharma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'd like to highlight in this Parliament that I agree with the Minister. It's not a matchbox of a project because we deal with aging infrastructure, how to motivate young farmers to get into sugarcane industry, and also the financial backing for new mills and lease expiry. So with the expression of interest that you have alluded, how do you still ensure that enough sugarcane will be grown to meet the operational demands so that the mills do not operate or continue to operate at a loss? Because what's the point of having a mill when you don't have sugar or land to go through it?
Honorable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Say, on one side, one member says when the mill's going to come. On the other side, the other member says when the sugar going to grow, will grow. Now, the question is, if you look at the statistics, from 1.3 million tons of cane last year, we are now estimating 1.5 million tons of cane this year. Right? Next year, another 200,000 tons. So our target is going to keep increasing. So the mill will be there on time when the enough sufficient cane is there. Vinaka.
Thank you. Last question, Honorable Seriratu.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. A few weeks back, you were in the papers with the Australian High Commissioner concerning Penang Mill. So while the EOI process is currently being undertaken, what is Australia's expected role in terms of the new direction for Penang Mill?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Leader of Opposition. That's something that's very confidential at this stage. And I hope you understand. You know, I don't want to declare something here and you try to derail it later. Vinaka.
Right, we'll move on to the fifth oral question. I call on the Honorable V.M. Pillay to ask question 305 of 2025.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask question 305 of 2025. And the question is to the Honorable Minister for Multi-Ethnic Affairs and Sugar Industry. Can the Honorable Minister update Parliament on how the FSC will honor its export quota as per the deadline and ensure timely payment to farmers? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Multi-Ethnic Affairs, Sugar Industry, Honorable Charan Singh.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honourable V.M. Pillay, for this question. I think today I've got 5 questions to answer, so please bear with me and just take one supplementary question per time. Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable member. I wish to ensure this House that the FSC remains fully committed to meeting all export obligations for the 2025 season and maintaining a timely payment cycle for our cane farmers. First of all, let me inform this August House the status of 2025 sugar exports. Mr. Speaker, to date, FSC has already completed 2 export shipments for the current season. 9,425 tons of sugar are shipped to the United States under the USTR tariff rate quota, and 38,000 tons of shipped to UK. In addition, FSC has scheduled a 3rd shipment of 33,000 tons also to UK, which will depart in mid-December 2025. Despite volatility in the global sugar market, FSC has been able to secure reliable buyers of its sugar. This is due to the diversified market portfolio and its long-standing relationship with refiners in UK, Europe, Asia, and US. Also, Mr. Speaker, I wish to clarify how FSC manages its sugar sales. All bulk sugar exports are conducted on an open market pricing. FSC does not have a fixed or committed buyers for its bulk shipments at the start of every crushing. FSC provides a forecast production schedule to its international brokers, in particular Zanicao. Zanicao then negotiates with the major global refiners based on the demands and market conditions. Are therefore are not a predetermined or any specific refiner in the market. All decisions are made on a commercial terms, selecting the offer that provides the best financial return for Fiji. This allows FSC to maximize the revenue by targeting buyers, offering the most favorable pricing at the time of sale. Mr. Speaker, Fiji's only fixed sugar export quota is the United States tariff rate quota, which stands at approximately 9,500 tons annually. From time to time, the US government issues additional allocation based on the domestic market requirements. Mr. Speaker, allow me to briefly outline Fiji's quota allocation that actual shipments to the US over the past 5 years. In 2020 season, Fiji was allocated 14,330 tons quota and exported 15,600 tons. In 2021, our 2021 quota was 9,477 tons, and we exported 10,500 tons. In 2022, our allocation increased slightly to 11,785 tons, against which we exported 12,500 tons. In both 2023-2024 season, our allocated quota stood at 9,600 tons, and FSC exported 13,000 tons and 13,800 tons, respectively. Mr. Speaker, over the past 5 years, FSC has consistently met or exceeded its US quota allocations. This strong historical performance clearly demonstrates FSC's capacity and reliability in honoring the requirements of US tariff, quota, and arrangements. Mr. Speaker, the positive aspect is that over the years, Fiji, through FSC, has successfully diversified its global sugar market well beyond USA. While US quota remains important, it is also represents a small portion of our total export, approximately 13,000 tons in a typical year. Fiji's main export destination continues to be UK, South Korea, Asian refiners, and neighboring Oceania markets. I've got a huge table which I'll perhaps later on present. I don't want to waste a lot of time of our honorable members here. Mr. Speaker, this diversified sales strategy ensures that Fiji is not dependent on any single market. It allows Fiji to better manage price fluctuation, mitigate quality-related risk, and maintain a stability in the export markets. Mr. Speaker, on a matter of ensuring timely payment to our farmers, FSC's ability to meet its obligations is anchored in a prudent financial planning and a stable export revenue. To achieve this, FSC projects an annual revenue from both sugar and molasses sales. Based on the forecast, it identifies any additional cash flow requirements. FSC then secures financing through a local financial institution, as well as a broker-supported financing arrangements linked to stock and levels of shipment schedules. Mr. Speaker, this structured approach ensures that payments to farmers remain uninterrupted even during the periods of short-term market volatility. Mr. Speaker, in summary, the fact speaks for itself. FSC has already completed 2 export shipments for the 2025 season, with a 3rd shipment scheduled to be dispatched next month. It continues to market Fiji sugar successfully across multiple regions, ensuring that we are not dependent on any single buyer of the market. Fiji also maintains an exceptional track record in meeting many years of exceeding its obligation under the US tariff, which remains only fixed quota, therefore. The Speaker to the disciplined financial planning and a diversified export strategy, FS is strongly positioned to meet all its export commitments and, most importantly, ensure timely, uninterrupted payments to our farmers throughout the 2025 season. Thank you, sir.
Thank the Minister, Honorable Charan Singh. Supplementary, Honorable Pillay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, cane farmers faces challenges if payment is eaten up by penalties, with reports indicating that over 60% of cane entering mills is burnt, largely due to mill efficiencies coming and harvesting delays forcing farmers' hands. Will the Minister commit today that FSC will waive the band cane penalties for this final payment so that full payment reaches farmers' pockets. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I agree that the farmers are going through hardship, but it's not our doing. FSC mill in Rarawai got burned down. We managed to get it fixed, and it's up and running from next week. The structure of penalties is all within that master word. FSC cannot, on its own, repeal. We have to go through a process. And we are definitely now working with the Sugar Tribunal to make sure that we amend this old document, which was there for several 10, 15 decades or years. So let's be patient. We'll have it done. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Serratu, Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you've talked about timely payments to farmers. Can you please give assurance in this House that the final cane payment for the hard-working growers will be on time and will be in full and on time as well?
Honorable Minister.
I thought, Honorable Speaker, we had done the final payment for the last season. We are now in the new season. And yes, definitely, as we've promised, we'll get a better payment for the farmers and very timely.
Thank you. Honorable Usamante, I would urge, there are 5 more questions that are addressed to him in the course of today. And I'm sure they are not on multi-ethnic affairs, they will be on sugar. So the questions would be quite appropriate in the circumstances to be asked later if you so wish, unless
This one
they
is for this
are relevant, and I use the word very relevant to this.
I will, if you allow me, I will place the question out and I'll leave it to your better judgment.
Thank you. Right.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and to the Minister, given that the Rarawai Mill has faced significant shutdowns due to the recent fire and Lotok is reportedly choked with diverted cane, can the Minister explain to this House the mathematical reality of how the FSC intends to meet its export quota commitments when thousands of tons of cane are sitting in lorries for days, losing weight and sugar content, effectively reducing the very TCTS ratio needed to meet those quotas?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, say again, Honorable Jordan Usamante, are you a cane farmer? All right. You need to know that the figures that you are saying, many thousand tons, where are your figures? You keep on just saying, look, the exact figures, we have it, and there is enough milling capacity to crush all the sugarcane. That's it.
Thank you. Next oral question, I now call on Honorable Chavez Abodea to ask question 312 of 2025.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to ask question 312 of 2025, and it's directed to the Minister for Environment and Climate Change. Can the Minister update Parliament on the revitalizing ecosystems for sustainable agriculture and resilience in Fiji project?
Thank you. I call on the Minister for Environment and Climate Change, Honorable Moses Mbultau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I thank the Honorable Chavez Abodea for this question, and I rise to provide an update to this August House on the revitalization ecosystem for sustainable agriculture and resilience in Fiji project known as the RESAR. Mr. Speaker, sir, the RESAR forms part of Fiji's Global Environment Facility STAR allocation. The STAR, or System for Transparent Allocation of Resources, determines the amount of GEF funding that each eligible country can access within a given replenishment period. Under this system, the GEF Secretariat allocates resources in an indicative manner based on biodiversity importance, land degradation prices, climate vulnerability, and national environmental performance, providing countries like Fiji with predictable funding envelope to support national priorities. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, sir, STAR allocation represents the maximum allocation a country is permitted to program during a replenishment cycle. These funds must be implemented through the JEF accredited implementing agency, ensuring fiduciary oversight, safeguards, procurement standards, and international best practice. Governments are not permitted to directly execute STAR resources. Mr. Speaker, sir, after careful assessment, Fiji selected the International Fund for Agriculture Development as the implementing partner of the RESAR. IFED has proven expertise in agriculture, rural livelihood, sustainable land management, and resilience, and has a long-standing operational footprint in Fiji and the Pacific. Selecting IFED ensures strong governance, full compliance with JEF requirements, and access to technical, fiduciary, and safeguard system that will support effective delivery. By programming RESAR under our STAR allocation, Fiji is ensuring that its infinite allocation is utilized within this replenishment period and does not risk lapse of unused allocation. This decision has leveraged a 8.2 million USD JEF investment, complemented by a 3.5 million USD IFED concessional loans. Mr. Speaker, sir, the RESAR project aims to address ecosystem degradation, biodiversity loss arising from unsustainable land use, haphazard coastal development, and overexploitation of forest, minerals, and marine resources. If unaddressed, these challenges will continue to undermine food security, livelihood, and climate resilience across our communities. This project is expected to deliver significant national and global environment benefits, including restoration of 3,250 hectares of degraded ecosystem, the adoption of a sustainable land use practice across 150,000 hectares of terrestrial landscape, and protection and restoration of 500 hectares of marine habitats, and the mitigation of an estimated 1.127 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. These outcomes position Fiji as a regional leader in nature-based solutions and climate-resilient development. Mr. Speaker, RESAR will be implemented in Vanuatu, supporting the sustainable management, protection, and enhancement of unique ecosystem biodiversity found across the provinces of Mbua, the Crown Robe, and Motuata. The island's geological history, diverse habitats, and altitudinal gradients create distinct ecological zones that support high levels of endemic species and intact forest system. Safeguarding these values is essential not only for biodiversity conservation, but also for ensuring sustainable blue and green development in the Northern Division. The projects will direct benefit 26,300 Fijians, and at least half of whom are women, creating scalable and replicable model of resistant livelihoods, biodiversity protection, climate-adapted development. Mr. Speaker, sir, the government, in partnership with IFED, conducted a full design mission from the 23rd of June to 4th July this year in Honolulu. The mission team was led by the international consultant and supported by a team of local consultants, including specialists from the Fiji National University. Meetings were held in a wide range of stakeholders, including community representatives from Nambualu, Sabu, Nateawa, Taveuni, Lambasa, Korotari, and the government officials, NGOs, and private sector. The mission convened a stakeholder workshop in Lambasa on the 2nd of July to validate issues, feedback, and recommendations from these consultations. A draft CEO endorsement report or design report was shared with the stakeholders in mid-October for comment, followed by the validation workshop on 27th October 2025 to review the project design, plan activities, and project targets. Feedbacks from government agencies, communities, and stakeholders has since been incorporated into the revised design report, which is currently undergoing IFED's internal quality review and will be submitted to the JEF on 12 December 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, from past experience, JEF typically undertakes a 6-month technical review period during which they provide comments and technical feedback. Submitting countries provide responses. With this process, it is anticipated to take
placed during the first half of 2027, noting that early approval may be possible should comments be addressed expeditionally to the satisfaction of JEF. The government will be supported throughout this process by IFED, subject to cabinet approval of the financing agreement. Project implementation is expected to commence in January 2027. Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, the Ministry remains fully committed to successful development and delivery of the RE-SAR project. This investment represents a strategic and very high-value use of Fiji's star location and has potential to transform rural livelihoods, strengthen ecosystem resilience, enhance sustainable land management, and support climate-resilient agriculture across Fiji. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change will continue to support successful implementation of this project to deliver tangible and lasting benefits for our people, our economy, and our natural resources. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank the Honorable Minister, Honorable Mbulitavu. Are there any supplementary questions? I don't see any. Honorable Sharma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A quick question to the Minister is, part of your deliberations, was there any work or discussions on the impact of the use of synthetic pesticides in our agriculture that harms our soil quality, human health, and that also leaches into our rivers and oceans?
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Yes, of course, Honorable Speaker, sir. I can confirm with the Honorable Member that that is also part of the package, and there were discussions around it, especially on land degradation.
Thank you. 7 oral questions for today. I now call on the Honorable Hem Chand to ask question 313 of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I rise to ask question 313 of 2025. The question is to Minister for Education. Can the Minister update Parliament on Ministry's plans to ensure all schools have the required teaching and learning resources when schools reopen in January 2026?
Thank you. Call on the Minister for Education, the Honorable Aseri Rondondro.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. The Ministry of Education has made clear and practical arrangement to ensure that all schools have the necessary teaching and learning resources when school reopens in 2026.
Thank you. Honorable Hem Chand, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Beginning of this year, Honorable Minister, many schools, they faced shortage of teachers, and it took Ministry of Education months, and in some cases, it took almost the whole year to address the issue. Some schools, even today, they are facing teacher shortage. What plans are in place to ensure that when schools reopen in 2026, the schools are fully staffed?
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
So I think the Honorable Member, I think I've already addressed those concerns in the previous session regarding teacher shortages in schools. I made ministerial assessment statement on it. And referring to 2025, Mr. Speaker, sir, is quite different from the question that we have here. We have taken steps to address the teacher needs in schools, but it doesn't take away the fact that we still have challenges in terms of the specialized subject, STEM subject, as I've alluded to, computing, primary school teachers. So these are some of the things that were inherited when we took office. So we have taken steps to address this. Like I said, we've taken all necessary practical arrangement to ensure that the schools are ready when it reopens in 2026.
Thank you. We'll move on, honorable members. I've been advised that the Minister for Health has some responsibilities to attend to today before noon, and that means his questions, if with your indulgence, the honorable members who have questions before his, I will now ask those questions to be moved forward. I think there are 4 in all that are directed to the Minister, and the Minister is the Minister here. Well, we will proceed as we were until the Honorable Minister appears. So we'll move on to the next oral question, and that is to the Honorable Chavez over there to ask question 314/2025.
My question on 314 of 2025 to the Minister for Housing and Local Government. Can the Minister update Parliament on the Fiji Resilient Informal Settlements Program and its planned activities to mitigate climate change impacts and reduce disaster risks in vulnerable communities? Thank you.
Thank you. I call on the Minister for Housing and Local Government, the Honorable Matthew Nalumisa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, before I provide my response to the question, I'd just like to express a congratulatory message to our victorious Fiji Sevens team for winning the bronze medal at the Dubai Sevens, as well as our women's team. Even though they fell short to the Japanese ladies team, but they were placed fourth. And we wish them well too in the upcoming Cape Town Sevens in South Africa in the coming weekend. Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank the Honourable for this question. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Fiji Resilient Informal Settlements Program is a transformative initiative being implemented in partnership with the UN Habitat, the Ministry of Local Government, and the Ministry of Housing. This program is central to our national efforts to mitigate the impacts of climate change and reduce disaster risk in vulnerable urban communities, particularly for those living in the informal settlements. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Agreement of Cooperation, or AOC, was first signed in October 2018 with the objective of strengthening resilience in informal urban settlements that are highly exposed to climate and disaster risks. Since its inception, the program has been progressively expanded through successive amendments to increase resources, extend timelines, and broaden its scope to ensure that its objectives are fully achieved. As of Amendment 6, signed in May 2024, the program was extended until 31st May 2025. Recently, the Ministry, and also with the collaboration of UN Habitat, has further extended the program until May 2027. The extension provides the necessary time to complete pending activities in the second phase of the project. Importantly, it becomes at no additional cost, reflecting prudent finance management and the commitment of all parties to deliver results within the agreed budget of US $3.12 million. Mr. Speaker, sir, the FIRS program is structured under three major components in 16 settlements located in 4 municipalities around the country. They are in Lami, Singatoka, Nandi, and Lotok. The first program component is an agreement with USP, which will deliver 4 finalized city or town level climate action plans, including vulnerability assessments and hazard maps. At the city level, institutional strengthening has been a major focus, with particular emphasis on informal settlements. These tools guide planning decisions and ensure that resilience is embedded in municipal governance. Development of city-wide climate change action plans will result in the establishment of dedicated urban planners and resilient officers within local councils, ensuring the sustainability of these efforts beyond the life of the project. Mr. Speaker, sir, the program also provides capacity development strategies that strengthen household and community livelihoods against climate impacts. Training workshops and community capacity developments plans will be rolled out, equipping residents with practical skills in disaster preparedness, sustained livelihoods, and climate adaptation. These activities are designed to empower communities to take ownership of resilience measures and to build long-term adaptive capacity. The Speaker, sir, the second component is infrastructure development. Pilot sub-projects are currently underway in 2 settlements These are in Koro Thiri and Nawajikuma settlements in Nandi, resulting in tangible improvements to drainage systems, access roads, and community facilities. The construction of Korodiri Settlement Evacuation Center, which was previously suspended in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic, is now being completed. The next major infrastructure project will be the construction of an evacuation center in Nawajikuma settlement, together with an elevated connecting footpath linking both settlements to the Nawaka village school. In the event of flooding caused by prolonged heavy rainfall, this infrastructure will ensure safe access to evacuation centers and provide secure evacuation routes for residents should relocation to safer areas become necessary. The Korodiri settlement currently has 63 vulnerable households of more than 300 people, comprising elderly persons, men, women, and children. There are more than 400 households in the Nawajikuma settlement, and both of these settlements are susceptible to the effects of heavy downpours. Third component, speakers of the FRIS project focuses on the scale-up delivery of critical infrastructure. Under the grant agreement, the planned interventions include drainage upgrades in Kalikana and Wainibukai, as well as sanitation improvements in Welikutu, this around Lami, as well as construction of a double-story women's resource center, community hall, a dispensary unit, and evacuation center. Other infrastructure projects include the construction of food storage and harvesting facilities for Kulukulu, the completion of an evacuation center at Punkavika in Singatoka. In relation to the settlements of Vunato, California, Pendongo, Taipiria, Nangi Rosso, and Aswata in Lautoka, the plan works include the construction of connecting footpaths across all 6 settlements and drainage clearing to improve flood mitigation and access. Guided by the community action plans, Mr. Speaker, sir, by May 2027, at least 16 infrastructure projects will be completed and formally handed over, providing safer, more resilient living environments for thousands of Fijians. Mr. Speaker, sir, knowledge management and advocacy are also integral to the program. Knowledge management platform has been established to capture lessons learned and best practices. The program will systemize knowledge sharing and implement a communication strategy to ensure that communities, policymakers, and stakeholders are fully engaged. Mr. Speaker, sir, the financial framework of the program is structured to link disbursements directly to outputs. The 4th and 5th installments amounting to over US $2.48 million will support the completion of sub-project designs, training, and infrastructure implementation. The final payment of installment more than $300,000 will be disbursed upon delivery of project handover reports, settlement, upgrading guidelines, and audited finance statements. This structured payment schedule ensures accountability and guarantees that funds are tied to measurable achievements. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, the RIS program is a lifeline for vulnerable communities who face the daily realities of flooding, cyclones, and rising sea levels. By strengthening institutions, empowering communities, and delivering resilient infrastructure, we are laying the foundation for safer, healthier, and more sustainable futures. And this program reflects government's unwavering commitment to inclusive development, climate resilience, poverty reduction, also ensure that no Fijian, regardless where they live, will be left behind in our national journey towards resilience. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank the Honorable Minister Nalumisa. Are there any supplementary questions? See any, we'll move on. Given the absence of the Minister for Health and Medical Services, we will proceed on to the next question, the 10th oral question. My apologies, honorable members. The request on my desk is that the honorable minister has requested his questions to be moved to after lunch when he returns from his duties. So that explains his absence. We will now go on to the next question, the 10th oral question for today. I call on the Honorable Ratu Josaya Nyundamu to ask question 316 of 2025.
You, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to ask question 316 of 2025 under my name, listed in today's audit paper, directed to the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Waterways. Can the Minister update Parliament on the development of the livestock industry in Fiji? Thank you, sir.
I call on the Minister for Agriculture, the Honorable Thomas Tunambuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to sincerely thank Honorable Ratu Josaya for raising this very important question. And I also wish to update this Parliament on the development of the livestock industry in Fiji. Agriculture including livestock, accounts for about 7% of Fiji's gross domestic product. And according to the 2020 agriculture census data, there were 22,991 households with 28,719 individuals engaged in livestock farming in Fiji. Livestock contributes to 61.5 million Fiji dollars to the GDP of 2023. And Honorable Speaker, sir, the livestock sector is a vital component of our agriculture economy, providing income, employment, and nutrition to our people. It also plays a critical role in our national food system, accounting to a significant portion of our protein intake through meat, milk, and egg. Honorable Speaker, sir, the Animal Health and Production Division within the Ministry of Agriculture and Waterways is responsible for governing development of the livestock industry. A budget of $19.5 million have been allocated to the for the 2025-2026 financial year, with a capital budget of $14.5 million covering 29 programs and an operating budget of $4.6 million. Honorable Speaker, says the investment was strategically focused on developing 7 key commodities: beef, dairy, sheep, goats, pigs, poultry, and apiculture, across the 4 regions, that's Central, Eastern, Western, and the Northern region, and further support veterinary and regulatory service. This comprehensive approach aims to improve productivity, ensure regulatory compliance, and promote sustainable agricultural practices in these sectors. Honorable Speaker, eggs and chicken meat have been performing exceptionally well, achieving approximately 104% and 93% self-sufficiency respectively, compared to the last 5 years, and that is from 2099 to 2024. There has been a growth of 8.3% in egg production and a 7.9% in chicken meat production. The key areas of poultry production over the years has been strengthened through the annual distribution of poultry packages that includes chicken and feed to 500 farmers, upgrading 25 existing sheds, and also the provision of essential equipment such as feeders, drinkers, and incubators to promote climate resilient local chicken breeds, and the prioritization of social inclusion by ensuring that around 50% of recipients of these poultry packages are women and youth. Honorable Speaker, the cattle industry has faced a series of long-standing challenges over the past decades and has undergone significant transformation, including the strengthening of disease surveillance program that has effectively mitigated the incidence of tuberculosis and brucellosis, and consequently
the incident rate had declined markedly from over 23% to at least less than 1% on farms. Even though that this is the main contributing factor to the decrease in cattle numbers, we have been able to reduce the risks of the disease transmitted to humans. Over the years, the sector had been prioritizing the need for genetic improvement, nutrition, and herd health and management practices. Moreover, with the use of biotechnology, 4 exotic breeds, namely Sandapol, Droughtmaster, Wagyu, and the Swiss brown breeds, have been introduced, which are globally recognized as prolific meat producers. These genetics have been successfully disseminated to around 100 farmers through artificial insemination programs and the supply of bulls to date. Additionally, the ministry has reinforced the genetic multiplication of these through establishment of a laboratory designated for embryo harvesting and transfer of semen collection and storage. Farmers have also received support for fencing, stockyard development, pasture establishment, and capacity building. In addition, the ministry is dedicating reviving the former beef schemes that operated successfully in the 1970s. For the past 2 years, roughly 76 farms have benefited from 2.4 million in assistance and are expected to make substantial contribution to current production. Honorable Speaker, sir, for the dairy industry, we have also supported through genetic improvement, nutrition, milk cartage, milk prices incentive, calf rearing, farm roads, herd health, and management practices. These have been carried out through the Dairy Extension Program through the Ministry of Agriculture and a grant to the Fiji Cooperative Dairy Company Limited for 368 registered farmers. These efforts had led to a steady 17% increase in milk production over the last 3 years, increasing from 5.2 million litres in 2022 to 6.1 million litres in 2024. As part of its expansion program, the ministry has established a formal market for the Singatoga and the Nandi farmers to value-add dairy products such as morella, cottage cheese, and ghee, with plans to extend this model to farmers in Ra and the Northern Division. This initiative aims to create new income opportunities through diversification, while also strengthening existing farms by boosting productivity and quality standards. Honorable Speaker, sir, from 2020 2022, sheep and goat industry recorded substantial growth. That is 66% of sheep and 32% of goats. This expansion is largely attributed to an increase in the number of farms and availability of farming assistance packages and strong market demand. By 2023, the sector comprises 558 registered goat farms, housing approximately 90,321 goats, along with 1,164 registered sheep farmers, maintaining about 38,000 sheep. Honorable Speaker, sir, during COVID pandemic, temporary closure of hotels led to a 50% reduction in commercial pig production. Stock and forced many smallholder piggeries to shut down. The pig industry demonstrated resilience from the drop of pork population from 1,752 metric ton in 2019 to 1,667 metric ton in 2021, a reduction of 34% to 1,421 metric tons in 2022, an increase of 21.8%. Recovery driven by government support through breeding stock and feed supply infrastructure improvement and provision of improved genetics. Honorable Speaker, sir, despite the gain in the productive level maintained below national benchmark, this is due to a number of challenges identified during the 2025 Livestock Forum. The ministry will continue supporting on-farm infrastructure by providing farm packages including fencing, farm roads, livestock shed, farm equipment, stockyard to maintain animal welfare and standard enhanced farm husbandry and management practices. Honorable Speaker, sir, a key driver to productivity enhancement lies in genetic improvement. The ministry's new cattle breed center will harvest, preserve, and mass disseminate improved genetics to private farms. An approach also planned for sheep, goats, and pigs while maintaining its nucleus herd through improved embryo semen. To enhance nutrition in both ruminant and non-ruminant animals, the ministry has partnered with donor agencies such as Quaker and the UE to acquire machines and equipment that will enable production of high-quality, low-cost feed and fodder using local ingredients. In addition, the ministry is collaborating with our Australian Centre for International Agriculture, CIT, that is exploring incorporating insect protein from black soldier flies as an affordable protein source for livestock feed. To conclude, sir, livestock holds sustainable potential to drive economic growth, alleviate poverty, and enhance food security. Therefore, I encourage all stakeholders to stay committed so that together we can provide sustainable development for livestock sector in Fiji. I thank you, sir.
Thank the Minister, the Honorable Tunubuna. Are there any supplementary questions? Honorable Lal. Oh, I'm sorry, none.
Thank you, sir. The question to the Minister is there any plans to revive the Yalavo cattle scheme in Nabusa? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Sir, I did mention that we are reviving the old beef schemes, and the Alabo and Tilibali will be part of the development program.
Thank you. Last question, Honorable Sharma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Just a question to the Minister. What measures are being taken to address the shortage and accessibility of veterinary and pharmaceutical supplies for the livestock in Fiji?
Veterinary supplies? We import veterinary supplies through a number of contracted suppliers, and they're in the final stages of processing those companies that will be tendered to import medical supplies to Fiji.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. We will skip the 11th oral question to await the return of the Minister for Health in the afternoon. So 12th oral question, I now call on the Honorable Tony Usmati to ask question 319 of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The question is addressed to the Minister of Public Works, Meteorological Services and Transport. Can the Minister update Parliament on the status of the request for bus shelters in the Western Division, particularly in Nasikau Vision College in Nabosa?
Thank you. I call on the Minister for Public Works, Meteorological Services and Transport, Honorable Rofili Bitishoa.
Thank you. I thank the Honourable Member for the question. We're programming that for Q3 in the financial year. In the West, planning to build 30 is in the program, but 10 has been completed. Try to complete all by the end of the financial year. However, we're also looking at revised design, so some which are a bit more cheaper, but also climate resilient, so that more completed. Thank you.
Thank the Minister, the Honorable Rothi Soau. Supplementary. Don't hear any, don't see any. Then we move on to the next question from the Honorable Sachid Anand to ask question 320 of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to ask question number 320 of 2025 under my name, addressed to Minister for Policing and Communications. Can the Minister inform Parliament on how Fiji has leveraged its ratification of the UN Cybercrime Convention to improve national cybersecurity and attract international technical assistance? Thank you.
You are called on the Minister of Policing and Communications, the Honorable Johan Navalurua.
Honourable Speaker, sir,
If I may, please allow me a few moments to reaffirm our commitment to end gender-based violence as we honor our women and our girls on the 16 days of activism. Every woman and girl deserves to be safe, respected, protected both online and offline. My ministry remains committed to strengthening laws, supporting survivors, and ensuring those who cause harm are held accountable, Mr. Speaker, sir. I call on all of us, especially men and boys, to stand together against violence against women and girls. By uniting our voices, followed by actions, we can end violence and build a safer and more respectful future for all our women and girls. I will now turn to the question by the Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, sir, I wish to provide an update regarding Fiji's signing of the UN Convention against Cybercrime and how we are improving our nation's cybersecurity and attracting international technical assistance. Mr. Speaker, sir, so far, no country has ratified the United Nations Convention against Cybercrime, as the convention was only opened for signature in October on the 25th and the 26th in Hanoi, Vietnam. To date, 73 parties have signed it. As we may recall, the Honourable Prime Minister, the last parliamentary session, answered a question on our signing of the UN Convention. It is important to note that Fiji actively participating during the 3-year negotiations and shaped the UN Convention. Mr. Speaker, sir, Cabinet has already endorsed for Fiji to sign the Convention, and we will be working closely with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to complete the necessary formalities to sign at the earliest opportunity, as the Convention is open for signature at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Mr. Speaker, sir, although the UN Convention is not yet ratified by any state, Fiji's leadership on early alignment with the only international cybercrime treaty that is in force, the Budapest Convention, which the UN Convention is aligned to, has already positioned us strongly to access international assistance and improve our national posture. First, Speaker, sir, Fiji continues to benefit significantly from its partnership with the Council of Europe through the Budapest Convention. Our cooperation with the Budapest Convention includes, if I may, Speaker, sir, 3 key areas on policy development, including support in drafting our data protection frameworks. 2, legal reforms, ensuring our laws, especially the Cybercrime Act 2021, aligns with newer treaties like the UN Convention. Last and not least, on law enforcement and prosecutor capability building, specialized trainings and workshops on areas such as electronic evidence and support to our 24/7 point of contact network. Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji is honored to serve on the 9-member Bureau of the Committee of the Parties under the Budapest Convention, a significant leadership role for a small island developing state and the first of the Pacific. Additionally, Fiji is the first Pacific country, Mr. Speaker, to sign the 2nd additional protocol of the Budapest Convention, ahead of even Australia and New Zealand. Mr. Speaker, sir, in preparation for signing the UN Convention, we are already doing the following. 1, engaging development partners to identify targeted areas for technical support, ensuring this is non-duplicative, needs-based, and aligned with our national cyber security priorities. 2, streamlining legislative reforms by synchronizing amendments required for Fiji's accession to the second additional protocol and amendments needed to domesticate the provision of the UN Convention Against Cybercrime. 3, ensuring that our cooperation frameworks continue to strengthen our law enforcement and Fiji's CERT, judiciary, and policy capabilities in a coordinated way. In closing, Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji's strong leadership at the global, regional, and national levels, and our reputation as a responsible and forward-looking cyber partner continues to position us to drive our national and regional objectives. Our focus now is to finalize Fiji's signing of the UN Cybercrime Convention and finalize our national cybersecurity and resilience strategy, which I will be providing an update on later. At the same time, we are leveraging all international partnerships to build a safer, more resilient digital Fiji. Thank you, sir.
I thank the Minister, the Honorable Neville Rua. Any supplementary? Yes, Honorable Nunn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to thank the Honourable Minister for his answer. Could the Minister advise on how the Budapest Convention is different from the UN Convention on Cybercrime?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. If I may, both treaties have the overarching goal of combating cybercrime, and 3 key differences are as follows, if I may. The Budapest Convention is the world's first international treaty on cybercrime and was developed by the Council of Europe, negotiated by 46 Council of Europe member states, and opened for signature in 2001. The Budapest Convention came into force in 2004. The UN Convention Against Cybercrime, on the other hand, has been developed under the United Nations framework, was negotiated by 193 member states, and was opened for signature on the 25th October 2025 this year. This will only come into force once 40 member states have ratified it. As of now, it has not come into force. Mr. Speaker, sir, the UN Convention Against Cybercrime is open to all 193 UN members, whereas the Budapest Convention is open to Council of Europe, or COE, members, and for non-COE members upon being invited by the Council of Europe. Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding the scope of the 2 international treaties, the Budapest Convention focuses on harmonizing national laws, improving investigative techniques, and strengthening international cooperation in tackling cybercrime. Whereas the UN Convention Against Cybercrime, builds on the Budapest Convention and seeks to create a more inclusive framework that addresses the needs of developing countries, capacity building, and safeguards for human rights. In signing both treaties, our criminal justice authorities will have all the necessary tools that are on offer to combat this global challenge of cybercrime. I thank you, sir.
Thank you. We will move on to the next question. That is on the Minister for Youth and Sports is not present. I will now ask the Honorable Rathis Kelly Lewu to ask the next question, 322 of 2023.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask question 322 of 2025 listed under my name to the Minister for Agriculture. Can the Minister inform Parliament which agricultural programs implemented since 2023 have helped increase crop yields and productivity for smallholder farmers? Thank you.
Thank you. I call on the Minister for Agriculture, the Honorable Thomas Tunambuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to thank Honorable Ratuskeli for raising this important question regarding the agriculture programs implemented in 2023 that have helped increase crop yields and productivity for our smallholder farmers. Honorable Speaker, sir, I'm pleased to provide an update of the major agriculture programs, including implemented since 2023, particularly those that are delivering increased crop yields, improving productivity for smallholder farms across Fiji. These are one, mechanization and outsourcing programs. Since 2023, the Ministry has increased its support for mechanization, recognizing that machinery has rapidly increased smallholder farm productivity and expansion. And successive national budget allocation, significant funding had been allocated for the hire out of farm machinery and outsourcing of land preparation and mechanization services to private contractors. Specifically in 2023-24 operational plan, the Ministry earmarked funding for farm mechanization that supports the provision of tractors, excavators, and diggers at subsidized rate or through higher services. Outsourcing land clearing and land clearing and farm preparation services has helped unlock underutilized or fallow lands, enabling smallholder and highland farmers, including in remote areas, to bring more land into production. In the current year, 2025-26 financial year, the Ministry has again allocated funds for farm mechanization and access of machinery, reinforce the commitment to mechanization. This mechanization effort reduces labor needs, accelerate land preparation and planting, and improve timeliness, which together raises yield, increase planted area, and allows smallholders produce at a scale close to semi-commercial. This drive is closely aligned with our broader goal under the Ministry's 5-year Strategic Development Plan for 2025 to 2028, and that is to accelerate commercial agriculture through mechanization. Small farm implement, number 2 is small farming equipment programs, recognizing that not all smallholder farms require large tractors or where farms are located in remote or fragmented land and where large machines is impractical, the Ministry maintains a small farming and agro-processing equipment initiative. Under this program, smaller but appropriate tools and machines such as rotavators, power tillers, sprayers, and small-scale agro-processing equipments are made available to farmers. Through subsidized cost sharing of 1/3 from the farmer's contribution and 2/3 government contribution, smallholder farms can acquire equipments at a lower cost. This assists in reducing the labor cost, especially in root crops and vegetable production, and speeding up land preparation, enabling diversified crop production and value adding through small-scale processing. By making appropriate equipment accessible and affordable, the Ministry ensures that smallholder farmers are not left behind as the sector develops. Third, agro-input subsidy. A major milestone since 2023 has been the introduction of fertilizer and weedicide subsidy for non-sugar crops, including rice, dalo, ginger, cassava, and vegetable. The subsidy of Fiji's $1 million and its aim to reduce import costs for smallholder farms enables them to apply fertilizers and weed control more regularly and effectively to obtain higher crop yields. In turn, this contributes to enhanced food security, greater farm income, and stronger resilience in the face of this variable weather and soil fertility constraint. This agro-input subsidy is a key pillar supporting the Ministry's vision to promote food security. Fourth, farm access roads and infrastructure programs. Another critical constraint for smallholder farms has been the lack of reliable access to market inputs and services due to poor roads and infrastructure connectivity. Since 2023, the Ministry has initiated the supported program with upgrading and construction of farm access road, as well as land preparation infrastructure such as flat land development, drainage and irrigation and waterways maintenance. So in 2023, operational plans included farm access roads as a priority. Improved road access reduces cost of harvest losses, accelerates input delivery, such as fertilizer, seeds, and agro inputs, and allow farmers to bring produce to the market faster and more reliable, thus incentivizing production, increasing volumes, and supporting transformation. Honorable Speakers, here, as part of a co-program currently offered, the Ministry also provides a range of tailor-made region-specific development programs. One, the Highland and Flatland Development Program, which focuses on improving land preparation, soil conservation, and crop diversification in highlands and lowlands of our farming communities. Second, the Singatoka Valley Development Program, which supports farmers in the Salad Bowl of Fiji by strengthening vegetable production, irrigation support, and sustainable land management. Third, the Rotuma Island Program is tailored to the island's unique geography and the farming systems, assisting farmers with input crops suited for Rotuma's condition and market access. In addition to this, the Ministry also implements other local specific programs aimed at strengthening food security. Collectively, these programs are designed to help smallholder farms in the rural areas and the maritime islands, increasing their productivity. Honorable Speaker, I wish to highlight that the Ministry also continues to implement several commodity development programs designed specifically to support other smallholder farms. This program an important component of our national strategy to strengthen food security, expansion of rural livelihood, and increase Fiji's overall agricultural productivity. Although these commodity programs, farmers receive targeted assistance such as improved planting material, essential farming inputs, and technical training and advisory support. The objective of the commodity development program is clear: to help smallholder farmers increase their crop yield and adopt better production practices and move towards more sustainable and commercially viable farming systems. These initiatives have not only helped farmers boost production, but has also encouraged diversification, improve market access, and support resilience against climate change. This transformation is essential. Not only will it raise income for small and livelihood for rural households, it will also strengthen national food security, support export potential, encourage agribusiness, and diversify our economy away from over-reliance of traditional sector. Both Speaker, sir, the Ministry remains committed to working closely with farmers, communities, private sector partners, and other stakeholders to ensure these programs deliver tangible, lasting benefit for Fiji's agriculture sector, rural communities, and the national food security. And I thank you, sir.
Thank the Minister, the Honorable Tunubuna. Are there any supplementary questions? Honorable Siriratu, Leader of...
Thank you. Honorable Minister, supplementary question. The increase in yields due to the various programs is increased, but one of the major concerns is the crop compensation rate. Yes, this is long overdue. I think, if I'm correct, 1989 was the last review. Are there any plans to review the crop compensation rate? Because this is something that the farmers would be interested to hear.
Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and also thank a leader of opposition raising this very important question on crop loss and the damages that had been long been pending. There had been a lot of discussions between the Ministry and the Ministry of Finance. Part of the requirement is, will be fulfilled by the Ministry of Finance, and that we continually work towards trying to review current rates, which I think had been there for long, and I'm quite sure there will be something very positive towards the end of next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, I think this is the appropriate time for us to suspend our proceedings for lunch. And Parliament will resume at 2:30 p.m.